This is the group project presentation for Group 6 in CHR 305. Our group's topic is it ethically permissible for underage college students to engage in social drinking? This topic is a little unordinary, but something that we think college students struggle with. Social drinking is defined as a person who drinks alcoholic beverages, usually in the company of others, and is in control of his or her drinking. Of course, social drinking is not always characterized by responsible drinking. That depends on the situation and the people participating. This activity is common in many cultures and is traditional for families of various backgrounds, so some people don't see anything wrong with underage drinking in social situations. An opposing view, however, is that social drinking is wrong because it's technically illegal, since the drinking age in the U.S. is 21. Since there are so many views on this issue and no distinctly easy answer, this issue could be categorized as a gray area. So what are the key issues of underage social drinking? The key issues, which I touched on a minute ago, are the views on why this activity is right or why it's wrong. Two opposing views on this fall into the categories of absolute ethics and situational ethics. If someone believes that underage drinking is wrong because it's illegal and breaks the law, that person would have absolute ethics. If another person believed that social drinking is right because of its positive effects and because of its role in cultures and traditions, that person would have situational ethics. The core problem then is deciding what opinion is right or determining if there's a clear and absolute right and wrong pertaining to this issue. One thing to keep in mind when considering this ethical issue is the legality surrounding it. The U.S. has one of the highest drinking ages in the world. Only 11 other countries have drinking ages of 21. While some might argue that it's the law and that it's the end of the discussion, others could argue that in most other parts of the world, college-age drinking is legal. Therefore, since it's illegal in most of the rest of the world, and to drink at 18, it should be legal for students in the U.S. to drink at 18 as well. Ethics should be universal, after all. If someone countered this with the argument that breaking any law is unethical, then they'd have to consider what we consider minuscule laws that are broken daily, like speeding or jaywalking. This shows that there are always two sides of the coin. The main worldview perspective that would be against underage social drinking is probably the Christian worldview. Christians are taught to follow the law of the land, so breaking the law is against their beliefs. On the other hand, someone with an atheistic worldview might believe either side of the issue. They might consider it right, but they also might consider it wrong. Atheism doesn't have a set moral code, so making a decision on this issue would be up to the individual. This leads us to the fact that with any worldview, people could still have differing opinions on this. The Christian population is divided on this issue. Opinions can be based on personal experiences, cultural background and traditions, church opinion, denomination, societal influence, and many other factors. The fact that this group doesn't have a solid shared view on underage social drinking shows how tough an issue this is. It definitely is a gray area. This division exemplifies the division that's present between the Christian worldview and other worldviews. A differing perspective on this is what could be called the postmodern perspective. This perspective would hold the opinion that underage drinking is not wrong. This perspective counters the Christian perspective by arguing that since humans are sinful, human laws are sinful and marred by human error. This perspective takes into account that laws are different in other countries and in other cultures, and that laws on drinking are greatly influenced by culture and environment. As this presentation has demonstrated, this issue has many different facets and sides, and people can hold a number of various opinions on it. Even those who share the same worldview might share differing opinions on underage social drinking. Illegality definitely plays a role in making one's own decision about this topic, but there's still a large amount of gray area when it comes to determining whether or not it's ethically permissible.